Blessings, friends. It's Maya here with an Astro update. On November 5th, we have a full moon in the reliant, practical, and determined sign of Taurus at 13 degrees. Those of you who have planets in the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, or planetary placements around 13 degrees, will likely feel the effects of this full moon the most. A full moon is when the sun and the moon oppose each other in the sky, creating a time of peak or culmination point. On a positive level, this lunation can be loyal, stable, secure, resourceful, and sensuous. On a challenging level, this lunation can be stubborn, persistent, lazy, and materialistic. You can look back to the Taurus new moon in April to see what themes occurred then that are coming to a culmination point now. Taurus energy highlights themes of agriculture, food, money, finances, personal resources, physical possessions, food styles, sensual pleasures in life, self-esteem, personal values, saving, earning, and spending money. We may see these themes highlighted in our individual life or in the collective atmosphere around us. The moon is exalted in Taurus, where it expresses its natural significations with effortless positivity and flow. The ruler of this lunation is Venus, the planet of love, beauty, relationships, and money, who is in her home sign right now, showing Venusian aspects are being held in a supportive flow, regardless of other outside circumstances. We do have Mercury, the planet of communication, messages, travel, and technology, retrograde during this lunation, showcasing this can be a great time to redo, revisit, reevaluate, and revise the Sagittarius house of our natal chart. Although Venus is being held in her domicile, she is opposing Chiron, the wounded healer. This can mean many may be healing old wounds in regards to Venusian matters, such as love, beauty, indulgences, relationships, money, justice, and fairness in the Aries part of their natal chart. We also have Mercury, the planet of the mind, communication, intellect, and reason, conjunct Mars, the planet of action and warrior-like energy. This can bring about aggressive communication or travel plans. Plus, this conjunction is also opposing Uranus, which can add a little bit of an extra level of shock or unexpected unpredictability. There is a lovely grand water trine happening with the Sun trining Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter, emphasizing we're being emotionally and divinely supported through any restrictions, limitations, and illusions that we may come across at this time. What area of life will this full moon be happening for you based upon your rising sign? For Taurus rising, this full moon will be happening in your first house. This could be an ending or a culmination point around yourself, your identity, physical body, outward appearance, and new endeavors. For Gemini rising, this full moon will be happening in your 12th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with the hidden realms, spirituality, dreams, subconscious programmings, self-undoings, art, music, mysticism, jails and hospitals, as well as retreats and ashrams. For Cancer rising, this full moon will be happening in your 11th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point around large groups of people, friendships, networks, organizations, progressive ideas, and future hopes and wishes. For Leo rising, this full moon will be happening in your 10th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with your career, public image, status, authority, leadership, notoriety, and achievement. For Virgo rising, this full moon will be happening in your 9th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with long-distance travel, higher learning, publishing and teaching, morals, gurus, pilgrimages, and government institutions. For Libra rising, this full moon will be happening in your 8th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with shared money, shared resources, investments, inheritances, taxes, loans, the occult, psychology, and intimacy. For Scorpio rising, this full moon will be happening in your 7th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with personal relationships, business relationships, marriages, contracts, negotiations, agreements, collaborations, and legal documents. For Sagittarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 6th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with your physical health, work, job, daily routine, employment, coworkers, diet and exercise, organization, as well as small pets and animals. For Capricorn rising, this full moon will be happening in your 5th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with your creativity, celebrations, joy, dating, children, romance, entertainment, hobbies, and small businesses. For Aquarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 4th house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with your home life, family, property, real estate, inner security, emotional safety, ancestral roots, and tradition. For Pisces rising, this full moon will be happening in your 3rd house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with one's communication styles, local travel, neighborhood, transportation, short form learning and writing projects, online content, and extended family and siblings. And last but not least, for Aries rising, this full moon will be happening in your second house. This could be an ending or a culmination point having to do with your income, how you make money, saving, earnings, and spending, physical possessions, self-esteem, and food styles. Full moon in Taurus, blessings to you all.